Imagine you wake up one morning with your heart beating fast. You don't know why. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe you're coming down with a cold. Maybe something you can't name is weighing on you. You lie still, listening to your body, and a quiet question rises. What am I feeling right now? For most of your life, you've believed that emotions simply happen to you, like storms rolling in from the horizon. But neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett, one of the most influential researchers in emotional science, says something radically different. Your brain is not reacting, it is creating. It is constructing your emotions from the inside out. And in understanding this, your entire inner world begins to open. Part 1. The Myth of Emotion Centers. For decades, we were told a simple story. Fear lives in the amygdala, anger is instinctive, sadness is universal, joy erupts automatically. Emotions are hardwired and ancient. It was a comforting story, clear, tidy, and easy to repeat. But Barrett discovered something unsettling. The evidence for this idea was thin, fragile, and often wrong. Scientists kept trying to prove that each emotion had a distinct fingerprint, a pattern, a guaranteed biological signature. But study after study failed. There was no universal fear face, no universal anger brain, no single body response that meant sadness. What they found instead was chaos across cultures, across individuals, across situations. And in that chaos, Barrett uncovered a quiet truth. Emotions are not found, they are made. Part 2. The Predictive Brain. Your brain is a prediction machine. Long before you are conscious of anything, before you see, hear, or feel, your brain is guessing. It guesses what's happening outside you. It guesses what's happening inside you. It guesses what you will need next, and what your body must do to survive the next moment. These guesses are rapid, constant, invisible, and emotions. They are the brain's explanations for these guesses. Your racing heart could mean fear, or excitement, or anger, or joy, or caffeine, or illness. The sensation is real, but the meaning is constructed. Your brain searches your past, every moment you've lived, every cultural lesson you've absorbed, every story you've told yourself, every memory you've stored, and from this library it creates an emotion. Your feelings are predictions, woven into meaning by your mind. Part 3. The Role of Culture and Language. You don't just feel emotions, your culture teaches you how to feel them. In some cultures there is no word for anxiety. In others there are dozens of words for anger. In Japan, Ame describes the sweet pleasure of depending on someone. In German, Schadenfreude names the secret joy in another's misstep. In Tahitian, there is no direct word for sadness. What does this mean? Your emotional world is shaped by the concepts you grow up with, without words. Feelings remain raw and unshaped, like colors without names. When a child learns new emotion concepts, they gain new emotional experiences. Language doesn't just describe emotion, it creates it. Part 4. The Body Budget. Barrett uses a powerful metaphor. Your body has a budget. Just like money you can spend or save, every emotion begins in this physical economy. Sleep, nutrition, stress, movement, hormones, breathing. When your body budget is low, any small discomfort becomes a storm. Your brain tries to make sense of it, and sometimes it chooses the easiest explanation. I'm angry, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed. But perhaps you're simply exhausted, or dehydrated, or carrying a deficit built from years of pushing yourself. Understanding this breaks a spell. Sometimes it's not an emotion, it's your body asking for care. Part 5. You can shape your emotional future. This may be the most empowering idea in Barrett's work. You can train your brain to create different emotions, not by suppressing them, not by ignoring them, but by reshaping the ingredients your brain uses to construct them. You can learn new emotion concepts, broaden your vocabulary, build better predictions, improve your physical body budget, reinterpret sensations in healthier ways, cultivate emotional agility. This is not self-help optimism, it is neuroscience. Your brain is plastic, changeable, adaptable, rewiring itself every moment. Your emotional world is not fixed. It is a living map, constantly redrawn. Part 6. The Freedom and Responsibility. Some find this idea frightening, that we help construct our emotions. But Barrett argues the opposite. This gives us freedom. You are not at the mercy of ancient circuits. You are a participant in your own emotional life, not a victim of storms, but a quiet co-creator of your inner climate. And with awareness comes possibility. You can pause, reflect, reframe, rebuild. You can author the meaning of your sensations. You can choose different stories for old feelings. You can become, slowly and gently, the designer of your emotional world. So, as this journey closes, return to that question from the beginning. What am I feeling right now? And now the question is softer, wider, more compassionate, because you no longer see your emotions as forces that crash into you, but as delicate constructions, shaped by prediction, guided by memory, infused with culture, and built from the living chemistry of your body. In learning how emotions are made, you begin learning how you are made. And perhaps, in the quiet moments, you begin remaking yourself. If this journey into the secret life of the brain touched you, if it opened a door, even a little, I invite you to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Your presence helps this growing community reach more people who are seeking understanding, healing, and the courage to look within.